right, so we got our first guest of the first episode. First guest of the first episode. Unreal, right? Unreal how things come together. Ivy Marie, Ivy, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great. Cold. How are you?
Yeah, cold.
Also cold.
Yeah, also cold. We were talking before the show. You're in the 40s. I mean, we'd be in t-shirts and shorts right now. That'd be beautiful. It'd be beautiful. We're in the 20s.
Yeah.
We were in the teens when we got up this morning.
The teens. It was 14 degrees last night. 14.
I probably got about a couple months before that happens to me here, so
Well,
I'm gonna take advantage.
Thankfully, we're already here, so it could be a nice, long, cold season because that's what everybody wants.
Right.
So you're from Lexington, Kentucky, correct?
Yes, actually, technically, I'm from Frankfort, Kentucky. I just moved here about back in March, so It's 30 minutes away.
So the first question I have to ask, because I'm from New York, live in Boston, now I'm in Spokane. What is the music scene like in Lexington, Kentucky?
It's always been kind of more like a lot of rock, like hardcore screaming type of music, at least growing up for me. But the music that I do, I don't really know anybody around here that does like indie pop. But I mean, I haven't even been I guess that much in the music scene in the last few years because I grew up wanting to do rock and stuff, and in high school and everything, it seemed like nothing was ever really working out that well, trying to find bandmates and stuff. So I kind of got tired of it and was like, I'm not going to do it for a while. And I always wanted to try acting. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to give that a shot. And then I was supposed to move to Atlanta actually this year to try to pursue acting more. But then due to a lot of complications, it's a whole other story.
Oh yeah, we know all about what's going on there.
Yeah, and then of course COVID hit,
Yeah.
But I moved to Lexington, and it turned out to be a good move for me because I had sold my house and it gave me money to get some equipment, and that's what kind of inspired me to just give music a try again. So I was like, nope, I'm gonna make this EP and these singles, and I'm gonna try to maybe get a band together, and maybe by next year, seeing how COVID goes, I can try to do some shows and stuff. So as far as music scene goes though, that's what I've mainly seen is more rock type music, and I don't know,
Rock
I haven't
country.
looked into this yet. No, not a lot of country really. I mean, yeah, you hear country music a lot on the radio and stuff, but I personally, when I would go to shows and stuff around here, was always rock and metal type stuff. There's a lot of metalheads around here.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you said you kind of jumped from the rock back into the indie scene. What artists influenced you?
It's kind of funny because when I snooped on you guys yesterday, I realized that you played some Chelsea Cutler music, Snow in October.
Mm-hmm.
And she was actually a really big influence because I started hearing her on Spotify a few years ago, and then my boyfriend took me to see her back in February this year in Louisville, and that was actually a big thing for me because watching her perform, she's a few years younger than me, and it kind of reminded me of myself and how much I really wanted to do music a long time ago before I kind of got discouraged and stuff. So I don't know, I saw her perform and it was awesome, and I was like, I really want to do that again. And I really love that genre of music, just more upbeat, and you can kind of dance around and be crazy on stage. So it's I'm just gonna get
really
that.
quick, it's going to be an odd question. Where did you find us on there? I don't think that was us.
On Instagram?
I don't think that was us.
Really?
You said Chelsea Cutler?
Oh, yeah. When I was listening, or I think it was a story or something, there was just some music playing, somebody.
Oh, yeah, you played it. Right? Yeah, okay. I was like, wait. We had Chelsea Cutler on? Was I not here?
We did a show without you,
I
Chris.
was like, wait, what was this? That's great.
I was wondering
job,
why you all were
guys.
making all these weird faces at me talking.
Yeah, wait, what? That's right. You played on the story, right? Okay. I was like, oh. I was like, wow, you guys did great when I wasn't here, huh?
Well, no, I was ready to go for it because I've been to multiple Chelsea Cutler concerts. I was like, yes, Snow in October, great song. I was going to go with it.
That's
just,
right.
You
Yeah,
look
put that
so
on the story.
confused.
Oh, I was lost for a second. I'm like, wow, you guys really pulled some weight in between our first recording and now.
Didn't you know you went on vacation?
I was on vacation for a day.
And I just heard like a clip of her song, so I was like, you guys at least know who she is. So if I
Yeah. That's why I was like, wow, that's great. That's great. That other off stage is doing really good. So you have like a bunch of different genres that you kind of
Pull from.
Pull from for your music. What would you specifically describe your music as? Like, what do you put your music more towards, like indie pop, more towards dance, EDM, or do you just kind of go with whatever the song's feeling at the time?
So at first I was thinking that I was going to make a lot more EDM music, but as I started writing, it kind of just came out more like pop, I guess. Like my 2 singles that are out, they're just more like indie pop. But then like some more songs that I have for the EP, they're kind of a blend of hip hop. And then there is like one song that's like a small blend of hip hop and EDM. It's just like my own sound. And like I record guitar and stuff in it too. And I'll do more of like a rock style guitar when I do record it. So it's just like whatever I feel like doing when I'm writing. I just like a little bit of everything, trying to get like, my own sound. So whatever works.
The 2 singles, which they have a little bit of time apart from each other, is that like you building towards the EP? Are those just ones you made and you're like, I want to release these and then I'm going to work on an EP later? Like, are they singles from the EP themselves, or just ones that so people could see what kind of music you're putting out?
Yeah, they're singles from the EP. Another Day was actually the first song that I produced myself for the EP. It's kind of like my baby in a way. And then like there's a song on the EP that I wrote a year ago with my brother, because he's a producer and studio engineer in Nashville. And I wrote it with him because I also sing for clients on a website called Sound Better. So that's kind of like my day job right now, singing for clients. And he was like, you should make a song so that way you have something to show your clients, when I was starting out on it. So we wrote that, and then he never finished working on the song, and like a year goes by. So I just now got the rest of the stuff from him and added my own like vibe to it to fit the EP and stuff. So yeah, I got a lot.
Are you just one big machine here? Or are you getting the beats and then putting it together and then putting the song on it, and you're just producing and everything your songs?
Yes, I write, record, and mix and master everything. I've always kind of known how to mix my music, and I've learned a lot from my brother because, he's a couple years older than me, and he's always just one step ahead.
Yeah.
So he's taught me a whole lot about it, and this was the first time that I was like, I'm just going to really try to learn more of the technical stuff about mixing, because I always kind of had the ear for it, but it's I don't know exactly how to do this or that. So that was my main focus, and I'll just kind of finish a song, and then I'll send it to him, and he'll kind of okay it, tell me if there's anything that needs fixing or not. But yeah, for the most part, I did everything myself, and I'm just trying to keep doing that for now, I guess, until maybe I get more following, or if I can find a manager, that would probably be amazing to help with shows and all the businessy sides of things.
So if you said that first one was your baby and you've got those 2 singles out, how excited are you now moving on to that EP release? How exciting is that for you to graduate into doing the whole thing?
It's really exciting because doing that first song and finishing it, and the day I showed it to my boyfriend, that was that was a really good memory to have. It was just showing it to him, and then after I played it, he was like, play it again, just play it again. And then we just kept listening to it over and over again. And so I've had several other songs like that on the EP, which it seems weird to me to be so excited about my own songs, I guess, or just like listening to them.
I don't think that's odd
That's
at all. That's
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Like,
You should always
I've
be your number one fan.
songs, yeah, like I've had songs that just like give me chills that I've written. So I'm like, surely somebody will like this stuff, and I can't wait to put it out. And I'm like trying to find the right time, I guess, to release the EP. I kind of need to like get more of my branding and stuff together, I feel like, and just find like a good point where I should release it, I guess. I don't know.
So going off that, excuse me, going off that, what's your main branding like plan? What's your main focus? Like, what do you do to promote your music? I know you share it on Facebook because that's where we found you, but what other ways do you do it? And we also saw that you're featured on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the featured songs, that's all like my clients that I've worked with on Sound Better. So, that kind of helps me get a little bit more exposure, especially if I work with someone a little bit, farther in their career. But as far as my branding, I promote a lot on Facebook, Instagram. I have a couple of like random YouTube videos from like my past stuff, so that like I don't know, that ends up getting kind of confusing for fans, I guess. But branding wise, I don't know, I just things like as far as like colors and stuff, like my favorite colors are green, so like I went and dyed my hair green, and I try to, I guess the message that I try to get across for my branding is like showing people that are going through like anxiety and depression and stuff, that they're like not alone. And like I may not like deal with that stuff as much nowadays, now that I've like just learned so many different ways to deal with it, like yoga, meditation and stuff. But like I draw from a lot of past experiences when I'm writing, stuff that I feel like a lot of like especially younger girls probably go through, as far as like breakups and stuff like that. So I try to write more relatable stuff to that, but like I also just write about things that are like just being yourself and not worrying about what other people think about you, and don't let other people like steer your decisions and tell you how to live your life, basically. Like do what makes you happy. So I don't know, that's kind of, I guess, my branding right now. I don't know.
So really let's go back to that website. What does it take to be on there? Is it like a membership thing, or is it like, how do you get onto that site, and how do you work that site?
You can get on there for free starting out, and literally you just make your profile and you hope that somebody comes across your profile and hires you. I had like some songs from like an old band and stuff like that to kind of get started in the rock genre on there, and after maybe about 6 months of waiting, I applied to become like a premium person on there, a premium member, and you have to pay like $50 a month. I think it's 50 or $60 a month, and they have to like choose you for it though. They have to see that you've been like getting clients and doing really good on there, getting reviews and stuff. And so after I built up some clients on there, they eventually added me to it. And once you're premium on there, you can go and search for jobs, and you have a better chance of getting more work, steady work. So
that's awesome. That's a great thing for anybody that's coming up in the music business to try to get a part of, because that's a great way to brand yourself. You're just being seen on that website there.
Definitely.
And then you can also link up. So the people that you linked up with, do you go in communication with them at all, or they just find you, you sing for them, and that's it?
Some of them I just sing for them and that's it, and then there's been like I have one client that I did about 5 to 6 songs for, and he was probably like my second client, and then he came back this year and wanted me to do like another 15 songs. So we've kind of built up a relationship at this point, because you're just constantly working with them. And then I have another guy who had been like super helpful, because when I worked with him, I had kind of like a crappier microphone and stuff. And like, it was actually the song, if you go to my Spotify, there's a song called The Night We Met. And that one has like a lot of views and stuff on it. That was a song that I worked with him on, and he was like, everything about this is great, but the microphone's kind of holding you back or whatever. So he ended up offering like an extra amount of money just to help me get that microphone and do a better job basically on that song. So like I have clients that have been like super cool like that just want to like help and, you know, help me get better and, you know, help me kind of get my name out there and stuff. Because he was like, these people, if you can do a great job for them, then that'll kind of help with your exposure a little bit. So that's been like pretty cool doing that.
That's great. I mean, it's getting your music out there and building relationships in the music industry. Like,
yeah,
it sounds like a slam dunk of a
Yeah, there's
of a
nothing
thing to
better
do.
than
Yeah,
that.
there's nothing better to do than that. So going into today in this day and age, so making music in this great 2020 that we're in right now, how difficult has it been? How has it changed you? Like, how is your whole look in the music changed? Because you can't really tour, you can't go concerts, all this stuff. So what's it
I
like?
feel like I chose the worst year possible to try to really dive in.
I don't see. I think that's wrong. I think you chose the best year because you have all this time
Yeah.
to make the music.
Yeah, it's like I definitely see that too. It's like I feel like as far as shows and stuff, you know, like wanting to try to find people to play shows with, that part kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
that's gotta be rough.
I haven't quite been ready for it yet, so it has given me time to just kind of get my music together and figure out my branding more and things like that. But like I don't know. It's just like getting back into music and stuff was already like hard enough, you know, before COVID. So like it is definitely still more challenging with, I guess, I see like a lot of people trying to do like drive-in shows and stuff like that now. So it almost feels a little bit like it would be kind of awkward, you know,
Do the drive-in show.
everyone sitting in their cars.
Watching you. Well, you got the drive-in shows, and then you got the live stream shows that are just everywhere.
Yeah, and I definitely have been considering doing some live stream shows once I, you know, build up some more courage and just try to get, I'm probably going to have to do like an acoustic set basically of my songs when I do those. So I've been trying to get some stuff like that together.
I was about to ask, when you do a show, do you have a band with you usually?
I would like to, yes. I haven't done any shows, you know, with these songs yet, so because of where I just started. But I am planning on I think I at least want to have a drummer and, you know, backtracks and stuff like that, because where it is just like more pop, I don't feel like I need like a full band all the time. But I may get maybe like a piano player too, or I might play myself occasionally, you know, and sing. But
I will say, in my experience in music, which is a lot with like up and coming bands, I always recommend live instruments. It just brings a new experience to the show. It really does.
Yeah,
that you can't get through a backtrack. Yeah, it makes it a lot more fun. And I mean, it's not just like people think, well, in pop and rap, you can't really do it, but you can. I mean, I've seen rappers do it all the time. One of the people we did was named Damon St. Cloud. He had a full band, and he's a rapper. He had a full band. He also had a producer that did a backtrack, but it just brings a whole new experience to the song. Like if you don't really have the live instruments in the song and then you do it in a concert, it sounds like a brand new song. So it's definitely highly recommended to do that. People will just really, I think it'll be a more enjoyable show with the new experience that brings with that stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, so you mentioned guitar and piano. Do you play both?
Yes.
How many instruments do you play? Like, how long have you been playing instruments for? Because like that musical development, I'm sure probably factored into you getting into music.
Yeah. So like my whole family does music. My parents used to have a cover band together before they divorced. So my dad taught me piano when I was little. they got us, me and my brother, a drum set, and we learned how to play drums. My brother took guitar lessons and then taught me. And then I learned how to play bass because I could play guitar.
Because that's the next transition.
Yeah, and I took some violin lessons, but that actually ended up being my worst instrument because I took lessons and I got bored of it quickly. But everything else is kind of just mainly self-taught, so I play quite a few, I guess.
You hear that, Chris? She can be her own band.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what Beck does. Right? Beck's his own band. He won Album of the Year a couple of years ago.
That's true.
On the right track. So I noticed you do some other ventures other than music. You already talked about acting, but you also do face makeup.
Yes, not really professionally or anything, but I did start a YouTube channel for like Halloween makeup and just like regular everyday makeup and stuff like that. I started that about a year ago, just kind of for fun. And I just kind of learned things as I go, like the body paint and special effects and things like that. But sometimes I have really good videos where it turns out great, and other times it's like, this is pretty awful, but I'm going to put it away because it's funny. So,
that's something you got more into because you wanted to get into the acting realm, like trying to learn more routes in that way?
Yeah, and just like, I realized like Halloween has always just been a big deal to me anyway. I've always loved dressing up every year, and like I would always make my own costumes and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? All these other people are doing YouTube videos for Halloween and stuff like that. I was like, I might as well, just because, you know, I like doing that and it could be fun. And you never know, like, if something, you know, could happen with it or whatever. And plus, that kind of gives me, I guess, more as far as like, if I did get more into acting again and like, maybe I wasn't good for a role, but they needed a makeup artist or something, then that could be helpful there too.
Yeah. So what are you going for as Halloween this year?
I'm
You're
not going anywhere. No one's going anywhere.
I'm having like a small get together actually with some friends, and my chick friends wanted to do like Sailor Moon characters.
Okay.
So,
oh yeah, all right.
And I actually didn't watch that much of Sailor Moon growing up, so I didn't like know any characters.
Where do I start?
I put a little bit of green in my hair, so I was like, I guess I could be this villain chick. Her name's like Esmeralda or something like that. She has long green hair and like an upside down moon on her head. So it's like, that's simple. I have a dress kind of like hers. I'm just gonna be simple this year. But that's just because I haven't really had much time. Normally, I'll spend like months making my costume.
So what's the best costume you've ever had?
I think that my best... So last year, I did an Alice in Wonderland, but I did like a horror style, like bloody and gory. I had cards sticking out of my head, like from the... I don't know if you ever saw her video games where it's like an Alice is in a nightmare. Yeah. And he carries around a knife and stuff. So I did one like that. And then the year before, I did a mixture of Spider-Man and Venom. So
that's awesome.
I don't know. I can't really choose between the two. I like both of them a lot.
Alice in Wonderland, just like the Disney movie, with the cards coming out of the head and the zombie feel. Yeah, it's just like
for the kids.
For the kids.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go all the way back now. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the upcoming stuff you had. Now, before the show, you told us that you're still working on stuff and you don't have an exact release date yet, but let's ballpark it a little bit. How far along are you? What's it gonna sound like? Things like that.
Well, the EP is pretty much done. Like, I at least got that part finished. And now I'm thinking it'll probably be in about a month or so. Maybe when I release it. I'm just still trying to figure out. I really wanted to do a music video originally, but that ended up not working out like I thought it would. So now I'm thinking that I should release it sooner than later, and then I might just kind of let my fans, you know, tell me which song should be like the video by how many views the song gets.
Right. It'd be great if everybody did that, right?
Yeah, it's like you never know which song will actually be the most popular song until it's out there. So
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, the EP itself is just kind of like most of it is just talking about just like issues within a relationship. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship for them to relate to it. It's, you know, it could be family or friends or whatever. Like, but in one of the songs, like I said, it's the very last song on the EP, but that one strongly talks about like basically just being myself and doing what I want to do, you know, whether it makes others in my life happy or not, because, you know, it's cliche, but you only live once.
Yeah.
So, you know, you shouldn't hold yourself back to make other people happy and stuff like that. So I don't know, but altogether it kind of has a depressing vibe to it, because that's just how I write. I always write sad songs, but it also, my music in a way is kind of like an oxymoron, because the lyrics are almost always sad and the music kind of has a more upbeat, hopeful feel to it. So it's kind of like you almost don't know how to really feel when you're listening to it, I guess.
Those are the best ones. The ones that you're listening, oh, this is great. Yeah. It puts you in a good mood. And then you actually listen to the lyrics. You're like, oh, this is dark.
Yeah.
A contradiction with a bow on top.
So what, excuse me, obviously mental health really blend, like that's what a lot of your music is about. What do you do to blend that into your songs, and how did you blend that into an album to make a whole album about what sounds like is mostly about mental health?
What do I do to blend it in? Like, as far as lyrics and stuff go, or
lyrics, your video, whatever, however you're putting the album together, like what story are you trying to tell when you're blending it together and putting mental health into it? What's the message you're trying to send?
Well, like I think I might have mentioned earlier, the main thing is that I want people to have, so like, just back it up, I guess. Growing up for me, like when I'd be really sad or going through something, like I would listen to sad music and somehow it would make me feel better. I can't really like explain why. I guess just knowing that, you know, you don't feel as alone when you hear somebody else kind of venting about their problems and their anxiety and stuff.
Emo music.
So, yeah, basically. And I was a huge emo kid growing up, so
MCR.
Yeah. So I don't know, as far as the message goes, I just want people to know that they don't ever have to go through anything like that alone. There's always someone to listen, and you know, like I don't care if people like ever want to like reach out to me and stuff for it either. Like that's a big deal to me, is not dealing with stuff like that alone, because you know, suicides and things like that are like up the roof right now. So especially with COVID and things going on, that makes things a lot harder for people. So I don't know, I just hope that my stuff reaches people and, you know, reaches their hearts and helps them get through whatever they're going through. In any way.
That's putting an important message behind your music is
admirable.
Really, yeah, exactly. Great word.
Thank
Great
you.
word.
I'm over here with the SAT vocabulary. Sprinkle some big
Put
words
it
in there.
For
a little on
icing
top.
on the cake. Thank you for joining us. That was great. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to plug yourself. You can find her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Where else can we find you?
I'm on TikTok.
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, me too. I'm on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok too, and YouTube, and that's probably about it. I'm not on Twitter that much. Like I'll kind of share like the same stuff that's on Instagram and things too, just because I feel like I should. But I've never been a big Twitter person.
What's your main marketing platform?
My marketing platform,
Yeah,
the main
Facebook
one.
or Instagram or
Probably Instagram at this point. I'm on there just about like all day. So
there you go.
trying to like you know, socialize with people through there a lot. So yeah.
So thank you again for joining us. Stay right here. We got Kid Quill coming up next. Thank you, Evan Marie. Go follow her Instagram and Facebook. Those are the 2 big ones that she's saying. and we'll be right back.
Do you feel this pain too? I think I might break through.